so much today for joining me, Kim. Can you first introduce yourself?
Sure. Aloha, everyone. My name is Kim Wynn, and I am the admission director for the boarding program at Iolani School.
Great. So where is Iolani located? Could you describe your campus and surrounding environment?
Absolutely. So, Iolani School is located in Honolulu, Hawaii, which is the state capital of Hawaii. And we are located on Oahu Island. Oahu is not the biggest of the Hawaiian Islands, but it is the busiest. We have the most people on our island. And specifically, our school is located about 1 kilometer from the famous Waikiki Beach.
Nice. So how does the location of Iolani impact the student experience?
Well, our city of Honolulu is one of the safest cities in the United States. It's a very colorful and welcoming area. I think that our community absolutely benefits from the Hawaiian culture and aloha spirit.
Nice. So how would you describe the Iolani community?
So the community, actually at our school motto is one team. And what that means is it means that we achieve together, we live and celebrate teamwork, we care about each other, and we strive for excellence and achieve with humility and gratitude for those around us. So it's something that you really can feel on our campus. We really believe in working together and collaboration, and not necessarily competition or competing against one another to be the best.
Hmm. What is a surprising or little known fact about Iolani?
Well, I think one fact that really impresses people is that the founder of modern China, Dr. Sun Yat-sen, he actually graduated from Iolani in 1882, which is really neat. We actually have 2 statues on our campus honoring him. And so our school was founded in 1863, but we have been welcoming students internationally for many years.
What is one of the favorite dining hall foods of your students or of you?
We love to eat here and we have great food. So one of the most popular dishes that is served here is called mochiko chicken.
Ooh.
And when we have Mochiko Chicken Day, we actually make about 600 pounds of chicken. And it's beautifully pan fried. It's sweet and salty with panko or Japanese breadcrumbs on it. It's so good. And actually, we were just featured, our chef was just featured locally in our newspaper for this dish. So it's pretty popular and our alumni love it. And since we've all been at home, our chef actually made a video on how to make it at home, which has been a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What is your favorite annual school tradition?
Something really incredible that happens here every April is called the Iolani Fair. And it's a time where faculty and staff, alumni, parents, all come together to volunteer. And we volunteer in running games, making food, selling different items. And it's really literally a gigantic carnival on our baseball field that happens over a period of 2 days. And all of the money that is raised during this event is used to support our students through travel opportunities throughout the school year. So we really, especially because we're located on an island, we want our students to have the opportunity to perform or compete or travel internationally or to the mainland US for different opportunities. So that's a really neat tradition with a really important cause.
Mm. What is something new and exciting happening at Iolani?
So in the fall of 2018, we reinstated our boarding program. Our school was actually founded as a boarding school and had boarding up until 1959. But most recently, we've been a very well-established day school. So it's been really exciting to bring back our boarding program and welcome students from neighbor Hawaiian Islands, from the mainland US and internationally to our school.
Mm. What was a hot button issue on campus this past year?
So back in March, when the pandemic caused many schools around the country or around the world to close down, one of our issues was, what do we do for graduation? And so you can imagine our seniors in particular were very bummed and disappointed about how their senior year, their last year here was ending. And so what actually happened, or what we really, again, one team culture, we believe in collaboration, is we worked with several of our senior leaders, or we call them prefects, to decide what to do with commencement. So what we actually ended up doing, and of course we were following state regulations as well, is we actually ended up having a drive-in commencement on our baseball field. A lot of great things happened on our baseball field. But we had about 240 seniors. So it was really amazingly, and I'm getting goosebumps when I talk about it, but it was really well orchestrated. All the cars were neatly, lined up, and we still had speakers, student speakers, but was really cool at the end. We always have a cheer tunnel with faculty and staff just applauding and cheering for the graduates. So we were still able to do that, but it was a parade style. So it worked out really nice, and thanks to a lot of people's hard work, including our, students.
Yeah, that's great. So who are the Iolani teachers, and what roles do they play in students' lives and success?
Well, our teachers live and breathe Iolani. In fact, some of them were students here, before they began teaching. I have wonderful colleagues who have been here for 20, 30, even 40 years. And so they're so dedicated to the potential and the success of our students. And that means that, you often will see teachers attending sport events, art, theater performances, arts, music. They're just so committed to not just being in the classroom with our students, but really supporting them throughout their journey here.
That's great. What is a unique program or opportunity that Iolani offers?
Well, I know sometimes because we're on an island, some folks might think, okay, we must be limited in terms of our resources. But one thing that we have here that just blows people away is this 40,000 square foot center called the Sullivan Center for Innovation and Leadership. And it is incredible. It opened in 2013. And inside that is our I department. So our I department was established when we opened the Sullivan Center, and it just provides amazing experiential courses for our students where they're project-based. They're really working on real-world problems, and they get to take so many interesting classes, such as app design, video game design. We have film classes. We have a college-level research wet lab, a rooftop garden. I mean, there's just outstanding robotics programs. I mean, there's just a lot of amazing things that happen in that center.
Yeah, I was very impressed when I visited.
Yeah,
too.
It's like
really
it's
phenomenal.
Like a university or something when you
see. It really does look that way. Yeah.
And this is where our library is too, so that's really important.
Yeah. Yes, lots of learning. How do you guys balance academic rigor and support?
Well, we really believe in teaching our students to become self-advocates, right? And so it's not easy to learn how to do that, but there are really a team of people to support our students. So every student has a grade level counselor, every student will have a college counselor, and then our boarding students also have a house parent advisor as well. So there's really many people that students can seek support from. In our dormitory, we also offer evening tutoring in many different subjects as well. So I know our students really appreciate that too. And this is really a culture, we have a culture at Iolani of teachers coming to school early or staying after to provide extra help sessions too. Because we really want students to take that initiative and learn, I need extra help with this, or how can I improve? That's a really important skill that will help them out in college as well.
Definitely. So beyond academics, within either sports or extracurriculars, where do you guys fall on the spectrum from collaborative to very competitive?
Well, I think really our one team mantra is something that you can really see on the field, in the classroom, and throughout extracurricular activities as well. And so of course we are competitive, but we really do believe strongly in collaboration, and really that you can become your best self by working together on all of these things as well.
Okay. How do you guys support international students?
So for me personally, I'm from the East Coast and I really have enjoyed living here because our island speaks and celebrates languages and cultures from around the world. And so it's a very welcoming environment for international students. And it's a little difficult actually when you walk around our campus to know who is international, unless you ask them like, can I see your passport? And I say that because I hope and I think it's really a wonderful environment and a nice stepping stone actually for international students to come to our campus and join our community, where they can, you know, adjust and transition in a very safe environment. So, you know, we absolutely work very hard to support our international students, but it's, like I said, I think it's really kind of neat to know that they won't necessarily be labeled, okay, that's students from China. I think that's really neat.
Do you have an example of a student you can recall who came to Iolani and had some, you know, exceptional growth or impact on the campus?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think it's really important for students to recognize that when they come to our campuses, we want them to bring who they are and their talents and their background into our communities. But one particular student that I'm just so in awe of and so proud of, she's actually from Beijing, and she came to our school and she had such a great mindset. And what I mean by that is that she was so open-minded to trying new things, that she actually joined our girls wrestling team. And she had never done this before, which I thought was incredible because I think back to when I was her age in my own country and I would never be brave enough to do that. And she worked extremely hard. And I talked to her mom about this because, you know, she remembers the tears and the thoughts of her daughter wanting to give up. And she actually won her first match this year. So we were so proud of her. But another thing she did too is she just started taking piano lessons. And she came to our school with a whole set of hobbies and interests, but I really applaud her for just trying new things and getting out there and really taking advantage of what we have to offer. So I just think that's, you know, I think she's such a role model for some of our younger students who come here and, you know, they're looking to find their place and to adjust. But really the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, definitely. What makes an attractive candidate who is a good fit for Iolani?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in order to come to Hawaii, you have to be a little adventurous. We are a little different out here in wonderful and beautiful ways, but I think you have to be a little adventurous and open-minded. And really to thrive at Iolani, you have to have a love for learning because we might be in paradise, but we are not an easy school. So you have to be passionate and you have to be driven and motivated. And of course, we will help, you know, we will help you with the structure and help support you. But it's really important that you have that passion and drive within you as well.
Yeah. What kind of information or indicators help you to identify these types of students who will thrive at Iolani?
Yeah, well, I think, of course, we do look at data. I know families always stress about the grades, the test scores, but that really is a good indicator in terms of our history and what students have really thrived here. But at the same time, we're also really interested in what students do in their free time and outside of the classroom, because of course, you know, students are not just in our classrooms as boarding students, but they're living here, right? They're making a second home. So we want to know, you know, what are you interested? What are you passionate about? What can you bring into our communities? I think you can learn a lot from a student in terms of what they do in their free time.
Yeah. So in terms, I mean, you mentioned it just with the grades and the test scores, but like in the application process, since especially families in Asia are very focused on it, you know, what type of a role does that play? And is that like an ultimate decision maker, or is it kind of opening the exploration of a student's profile?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do look at applications holistically, so we don't only look at the test scores. We really do care about the voice and what the student is doing outside of the classroom as well. But the helpful point with the data is that we do have a history of test scores so we can help predict a student's potential or ability to thrive here. We also do not offer ESL, which is a big, which is important because we don't want to offer admission to a student that would not succeed here. That would be very unfair to that student and their family as well. So we are a rigorous school. So it is important that students have a foundation, a strong foundation in English, and that they love learning and they're motivated. But at the same time, we want them, you know, we want to invite good people and nice students to join our community here.
What role does the interview play in the application process?
Personally, I love the interview because it gives a face and a voice to the applicant. And I know sometimes that students can get really nervous during that process. And I'm, you know, in me, I'm just so in awe of them because they're 13 years old or younger or older, doing this with an adult. And I know that must be challenging, but it's really just helpful to get more of a context on the student and hear what they are thinking at the moment or what they're feeling, what goals they might have or what questions they have. And I often just try to encourage students ask questions because, you know, we want to be interviewed too. And it's really a great opportunity to be able to talk to the admission officer at that time and you know, let them know what you're thinking about too, or what you're curious about.
Yes, for sure. What is your favorite go-to interview question, if you have one, or something that you feel is revealing about a student?
Well, I have two questions that I really like, and sometimes they tend to stump students, which is not my goal. But one question is, you know, if you could eat lunch with any person in the world, who would it be? And that could be someone personal to you, someone famous, someone from history. And it's just fun to hear what students come up with. And of course, there's no correct answer to that. Sometimes I like to press a little further and ask them, like, what would you eat with that person? I think that's kind of cool too to think about.
Yeah.
But I also like to ask students what makes them angry or what annoys them, because there's, I mean, living in a dorm, there are things that are going to annoy you or make you angry.
Yes.
And it's kind of fun to hear the responses. And of course, some will say social justice or people being treated unfairly. And then others will say, you know, I have a little sister that makes a clicking noise when she eats. And like, just funny. I think you can learn about a person from questions like that.
Right. That's funny. What advice might you have for students and families who are embarking on the boarding school admissions process?
I think most of all, it's really important for students to remember that they know themselves better than anyone else, right? And it's so important that they are themselves. So be yourself, and remember that this is a process and it's going to take time, and it's not meant to be painful, but I understand it can be stressful, but use it as an opportunity to ask us questions and explore. I mean, if you have an opportunity to visit a campus, it's okay to ask to talk to a current student or a teacher. Really, it's a really amazing opportunity, I think. And so for students, try as hard as you can not to stress too much, have fun with it, smile. We want to see you smile. And it, you know, we really just want to know who you are. So sometimes students, I think they think we have an answer we want to hear, or they script their answers or try to memorize things, but really just be you. That's all we want to do.
Thank you. Yes, that's the best advice possible.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Kim. This was
Pleasure.
Wonderful, and we're excited to be able to share Iolani with more families.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Really,
yeah.
and we hope to see you back here.
Yes, me too.